Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So we can talk about food industry policy. Food policy 101 is learn about the laws and regulations behind our food system to understand how these public policies affect the environment, people, and animals. Food policy is the backbone of our food system. Decisions by policymakers at all levels, federal, state, and local, can have a significant impact on everything from what crops are grown to how much food costs and what we do with the excess. It is important to understand the laws and regulations behind our food system because these are public policies that should serve the public interest. That is food policy. Food policy is how government actions, including legislation, the making of laws and regulations, how those laws are implemented, shape our food system. These policy decisions occur at all levels of government, from international trade agreements that determine the price of food imports and exports to local school district wellness policies that establish the types of food that can be sold at bake sales. Who makes food policy? Food policy decision makers exist at all levels of government and across all branches. While the judicial arms plays an important role in interpreting the laws governing our food system, policy generally focuses on the actions of the legislative and executive or administrative arms of the government and the local, state, and federal level. How the legislative branch makes food policy: elected representatives, whether U.S. senators, state assemblies members, or city councilors, can write and pass legislation, laws, acts, statutes, and ordinances. Generally, legislation outlines and delegates authority to specific agencies to implement and enforce the law. An example of food policy that gets made through the legislative branch is the New York State 2019 Food Recovery and Recycling Act, which requires the state's largest food waste generators to donate wholesome food and to recycle food scraps. How the executive or administrative branch makes food policy: elected executives, the president, governors, mayors, or country commissions appointment. The leaders of administrative agencies such as the Department of Education at the federal, state, and local levels. These agencies create regulations that determine how to implement and enforce the laws passed by the legislative branch. An example of food policy that gets made through the executive or administrative branches in Maryland. The Department of Agriculture issued regulations that require agriculture product marketed as locally grown, regional, etc. to disclose a state of origin and to impose a fine of up to 500 for violations. Federalism and food policy in the United States. Federalism is the division of powers among the federal government and state government, and it turns their local governments essentially determining who gets to control what. Because food policy spans over many areas of the law, it highlights the interplay between different levels of government. Depending on the issue, each level of government will have differing duties to which each can or cannot take action. Federal policy often serves as a baseline, setting basic requirements and giving state and local governments the authority to create more stringent requirements or to provide additional incentives or funding. Federal laws, for example, offer tax incentives and basic liability protections for food donations. However, many states have strengthened these policies by passing their own laws and that go even further with it by increasing the tax incentives or by expanding the scope of who is eligible for liability protections.